Welcome everybody to the Drivers' Press Conference ahead of the FIA Formula One Japanese Grand Prix. We have two groups coming your way as per usual. Group 1, closest to me, George Russell, then Liam Lawson and Pierre Gasly. Very warm welcome to you all. Liam, please, why don't we start with you? Different colours for you this weekend. What's your overriding feeling about the swap with Yuki, and where do you go from here?
I think obviously an opportunity this weekend, maybe something I wasn't expecting so early, but something that obviously is not my decision. And for me, it's about making the most of obviously this opportunity now, and obviously still being in Formula One, I still have that. So it's been a good week of preparations, so I'm excited to get going.
Tell us about the preps. Have you been on the simulator? Have you driven the racing bull on the simulator yet?
Yes, we've done simulator, and it's all been okay. Obviously, you don't truly know until you drive the car. So going out tomorrow will be the first proper test, and for sure it'll probably take a session or two to adjust again. But we have 3 practice sessions here, so I'll be making the most of that. And
how much difference does it make that this is a track you've raced at before in Formula One for the first time this year?
That was, what I was obviously looking forward to from the start, to be honest, to go to a track that I've been to before, just to have a proper sort of preparation, and I now have that. So, it's exciting to be here. It's a track that, I think we all like as drivers, and it's one of my favorite tracks to drive on. So, I'm very excited.
And you had a nice warm-up yesterday about that?
Yeah, that was cool. It was, I think it was the first time they actually had both VCARB and Red Bull drivers together. So it was nice to see the fans all come out for that. It was very cold and rainy, and they all still stood out there. So that was cool to see. And, driving one of the older cars as well with the V8 was pretty cool.
All right. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Liam. Pierre, can I bring you in on this? Can we just start by talking about 2019? You made the mid-season swap from Red Bull to Toro Rosso. What are your observations? What are your thoughts on what's happened at Red Bull with Yuki and Liam this week?
Don't remember 2019.
Any thoughts on what's happened this week?
I wish Liam all the best. I can obviously relate to some things, and I wish Yuki all the best. I think it's very difficult to judge anything from the outside. I think only Liam can know his situation and know all the details from it, and just gotta respect that we're all trying our best with the tools we have, and I've got no doubts both of them are going to do really well, but it's not really for me to comment because you never really know what's going on. So
let's bring it on to the here and now with you and Alpine. You said after China that you were going to have a big debrief, look at what had gone well at the opening 2 races, where you also thought there was work to do. What conclusions have you reached?
Well, I think China, objectively as a team, I think we sort of slightly underperformed. We realized after the weekend that obviously a few things we would have done differently with insights, and that's why I'm still confident. We got a good package. We got the performance, to fight in the top 10, and it's really about we're still early stage in the season. We're still learning about the car and how to extract everything from it. So it's good. We got 3 races coming up, different tracks, and I'm excited to go racing.
You say you're still learning about the car. How much of a step forward is it compared to last year?
It is a step forward. Now, everyone made a step forward, if you look at the entire grid, and it's extremely tight. So I think it comes down to really fine-tuning, the car to every track within 2 tenths. You probably have 6-7 positions at the moment, and unfortunately we haven't done good enough in China, but we know the reasons why, and that's why I'm fully confident we'll be in the mix for the coming 3 races.
All right, good luck to you as well. Thank you, George. Let's come on to you now. A really impressive start for you and Mercedes so far this year. Podiums, you had the front row start last time out as well. What is possible with this year's car, do you think? How much is possible?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the first two races have been great, 2 podiums, and we couldn't really have hoped for much more. I think we also have to be realistic. We are only 2 races into a long season, and I don't think probably Ferrari and maybe Red Bull have maximised their potential as yet. So we don't want to get carried away thinking this is possible week in, week out, but we definitely know that if we do the best job to our own abilities, we'll be there in the mix.
Has the pace of the car surprised you so far?
Yeah, I think it has. We know in qualifying we've always been pretty strong, but I think it was quite refreshing in China to see that our race pace was also pretty decent, and we were the second fastest team in China, and there was a lot of positives to take away. So, we go to Japan, which was probably one of our worst races last year. So it will be quite an interesting test to see if we've improved the car compared to this time 12 months ago.
Just final one from me. Toto was very positive about your performance in China. How much of a shot in the arm is it for you to know that the boss has got your back?
Yeah, I mean, I know he's always got my back, to be honest. People like to see things publicly. I don't read what is said in the press or on social media. So for me, I only found out about this morning when somebody told me. Of course, it's good to hear, but I know that he's always supported me, had my back, and believes in me, and that's the most important, is what is happening internally rather than what is shown to the world. And I know that I've got everybody's support. We're in this all together. We're all fighting for the same common goal, and it's an exciting moment for us.
All right, good luck to you this weekend as well. Let's open this to the broadcasters. Who's first, please? Craig, yeah.
Craig Slade, George, and just picking up on that, clearly, obviously, there are some contract negotiations you need to embark on at some point. If the season turns out as you'd wish, with maybe a title challenge, would it be a good idea to try and get that done sooner rather than later, so it doesn't, I suppose, get in the way of that?
From my side, there's no stress whatsoever regarding a contract. Ultimately, contracts are in place in Formula One, and things change very quickly, and I believe in myself. You have to perform, and it's pretty much as simple as that. And when it comes down to contract discussions, I think with us in the past, with Toto, it's taken no more than 24 hours to have the conversation, and it goes to the lawyers, and we get something in place. So, there is no rush from my side. There's no concerns. There's no pressure. I'm enjoying where I'm at in the sport right now, and enjoying my performance, and just enjoying going racing, and that's the number one priority right now.
Thank you, George. Next one, please.
Mara, Sky Sport Italy, a question to Liam. Liam, do you expect you will immediately find the same good feeling you had already with the Racing Bull car?
I won't truly know until I drive. I think we feel good. I feel confident, and I don't think too much has changed also since last year. So I think the ingredients are there, and obviously the main thing is coming here at a track that I've driven as well. I think hopefully I slot right in and feel comfortable, but I think we'll find out tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Liam. Next.
Tom Slafer, that's on Spain. Question for Liam as well. You mentioned that you were not expecting the call, or at least so soon. Was it actually a call? Or did you talk, or did you know this decision in China already, or was it something in between races?
No, I had no idea in China. It was something that was decided, I guess, the Monday or Tuesday afterwards. I found out after China, basically. It was, I think for all of us, probably more unexpected. But it was after the weekend.
Okay, next, yeah.
Hi, Liam. Mariana from Bungie TV. Things have been twisted and turned so many times here, and sometimes completely unexpected. And like a year ago, probably Yuki was feeling this way, like I was not the chosen one, and then things turn around. For the future, do you think you can expect, maybe if you have a very good year, to have this change again? Do you think about that or not? Like going back to Red Bull or turning the table?
I think we know how Formula One is and how quickly things change. I mean, if I look back a year ago, I had no seat. I was here a year ago watching and wishing I was racing. Then I had the opportunity to race at the end of last year and the opportunity then to go to Red Bull Racing. So a lot has happened in 12 months. So for me, the main thing is being in a car. I have the opportunity to obviously prove why I belong here, and that's what I'll try and do, and that's what I do every single time I get in the car. And that's what I'll be doing this weekend. So I think things change very, very quickly in terms of where my future is. I don't know, and for me, the only way I can control that is by driving fast.
Thank you. Next one.
Hello, Margot Lafitte, Canal Plus. Question for Liam. Can you talk us through the way the situation was presented to you? Was it like a done deal, or was it explained, justified?
It was more of a done deal, I would say. It was, yeah. I mean, so I guess I left China, starting preparations for Japan, and basically I had a phone call basically saying that this was what was going to happen. So, yeah.
Okay. Any more broadcasters? Yeah. Mara?
A question to George. George, when people talk about title, your name is often not there. Do you feel like you are not taken into consideration as you should be?
I mean, ultimately, from my side, I'm just going in every single weekend trying to perform the maximum. And, these last 3 years as well, alongside Lewis, his name was always there with championships because he's the GOAT. But the last 3 years, neither of our names were there because we weren't in the position to fight. So, look, this season it's been a great start to the year. I don't think we could have achieved a better result than we expected, and I hope we can continue this sort of run of consistency. But we know realistically the McLarens are exceptionally strong, and I think it's going to be challenging for anybody else to compete with them. But we saw last year how dominant Red Bull were, and suddenly they weren't at the end of the season. So things change quickly.
Welcome back, everybody, to our drivers' press conference here at Suzuka. And in Group 2, we're joined by Charles Leclerc, Yuki Tsunoda, and Nico Hülkenberg. Now, Yuki, let's start with you. What an opportunity for you here at Suzuka. Just how much are you looking forward to the weekend ahead?
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Can't be crazier than this, I guess, this situation. First race in the Red Bull Racing, but it's also on top of it in home Grand Prix. I think best situation ever in terms of anything. But I'm just excited. Simulator went well. Spent a few days in Tokyo, which was really busy, but at the same time, able to get to spend also with the friends as well. So, really good so far.
Can you tell us about your journey you've been on since China? I mean, let's start with the moment you found out that you had the drive. Who called you? Where were you? What were you doing?
Well, I can't say specific details, to be honest, with this world. But first call I got was from Christian. Think right after China that maybe be prepared about maybe things gonna change a little bit. So just bit of a reminder. I guess around, I don't know, Tuesday or something like that, Monday. And anyway, I was in UK for preparation for Suzuka. It was planned with VCAV, and a plan change, and immediately I've done a similar decision with the Red Bull Racing. I think at that point it was just in case, and within the 2 days, 3 days I was spending in UK, he confirmed in person. So that was kind of timeline. I can't say when specifically, but that was kind of timeline.
And have you driven the RB21 on the simulator? And if you have, what feedback did it give you?
I mean, I just felt it, in the car, in simulator. Obviously, I'm sure it's not fully correct in terms of like trickiness of the car, but at least didn't feel like crazy tricky. But I can at the same time can feel what the drivers was mentioning about the instability or driver confidence things. I mean, I tried different setup. I did multiple setups that I wanted to try and to make it a little bit better. Actually, those 2 days was pretty productive, and at least I know now what kind of direction I want to start. And it seems to be also good baseline for also as a overall performance as well. So I think it was really good simulator sessions.
And Yuki, you have a P4 in Formula One already. Have you dared to dream about your first podium at home?
Yeah, I mean, that'll be great. The first race, home Grand Prix, that's obviously a side of my head. That's what I would say more like a dreaming for rather than target. To be honest, it will be tough. I'm expecting it'll be challenging. Won't be easy as a probably, I think, or probably people think, but it's such a limited time to adapt, and it's another different beast as well. So, but I'll do my best, and if I can go through Q3 and score points, I'm happy.
All right. Well, best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charles. Let's come to you now. Can we wind it back to China first of all? And the double disqualification first of all was very uncharacteristic of Ferrari. How confident are you that the team has put that behind it and that it won't happen again here at Suzuka?
Well, I mean, confident because obviously whenever you do mistakes, you learn from them, and especially when they are costing that much. Obviously, everybody is playing with the limit and trying to be as close as possible to it, but to have both cars underneath it was a big pain, and we didn't need that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's been a very difficult first part of the season. I mean, the first 2 races were difficult. The pace was not exactly where we were expected it to be, and and to lose even more points than we already did with that. Hurts the team a lot, but I'm confident that we learn from it. And obviously, whenever these kind of events happen, we try and understand and analyze where did that go wrong and change a little bit the process of that. It was a multitude of things adding up, which makes that the margin we had took was not big enough.
As you say, it's been a difficult start to the season for Ferrari. You say it was disappointing. Just how difficult is it to extract performance from this car?
I mean, it's as difficult as always. It's always tricky to extract the maximum out of a car. I don't think that it is any more difficult on a season like this. It's just that the performance compared to McLaren, more specifically, is just not good enough. So it's not about how hard it is to extract the maximum performance out of the car. It's just that there's not enough performance in the car for now. But little step by little step, I'm sure and confident that we can close that gap, starting from this weekend, hopefully.
Well, we saw a big step from Melbourne to China. Are you expecting another step forward here?
We saw a big step on Saturday, I think. I mean, the sprint race with Lewis especially. On Sunday, I think it was back to normal. I expect us to be more or less in line with where we were in China on the Sunday and in Melbourne.
All right. Thank you. Good luck. And Nico, let's come to you now. Races 1 and 2 so far this year.
One was good, successful. One wasn't. It's pretty simple. But overall, I think it's been more positive than negative. Obviously, to get the first points, for us was a big thing and was important. In China, especially Sunday, we had some difficulties and it wasn't really, a very representative race and result for us. But how things felt within the car and the team were quite good, which makes me optimistic going forward. But as ever, things in the midfield are very, very tight, and then small margins, can have a huge effect.
Optimistic going forward. Do you think this is a car that you can challenge for points at every race?
We'll see. I think it's tough. I think there's more or less the way I see it, 5 teams and 10 cars, that sit within a couple of tens. And anyway, the top 8 spots are usually occupied, by the 4 bigger teams. So it doesn't leave much on the table for the rest. But, that's the challenge. That's the job for everyone in the midfield. And I think we're all, racing for that. And, whoever will do a better job now in the next weeks and months will come out on top.
And Nico, can we just get your thoughts, bigger picture thoughts on Hinwil and Neuburg? Hinwil, first of all, how has the team grown and changed since you last raced there in 2013?
Yeah, I was in Neuburg actually for the first time last week, our power unit factory in Germany, and that was very interesting, to meet the people, to see the facilities, see what's been happening for the last kind of 2 years there, and how much they're pushing. That was quite cool and nice to see that. And Hinwil, it's still a lot of change happening as we speak, still growing a lot, upgrading the infrastructure, the people, the facilities. It's still, very much ongoing and work in progress.
All right, thank you for that. Thanks to all 3. Let's now open this to the broadcasters. Who's first, please?
Thank you. Hi, Yuki. Mariana from Band TV. After Abu Dhabi, you said that on the long runs, I have been able to run consistently, and straight away, I felt the limitations of the car, which, if you don't have confidence in the car, you can't feel the limitations. Would you elaborate a little bit more, just to understand, and what you intend to do now that you're going to be with the new car?
It's quite simple things, I guess. If you're able to push with that car straight away, with 90, more than, I guess, above 95, just for the reference, you start to feel a bit of sliding front or rear. And the first thing you feel sliding once you start turning, like the front or rear, you see the limitation. And that's kind of probably sense what I was trying to say, so, and immediately, Abu Dhabi tests. Fortunately, there are a lot of runoff area, so I'm able to push quite immediately, and knowing that even I push, and if I go put too much, I know that there's a bit of space to, to be forgetting. That's why, I'm able to push it immediately, and but at the same time, at that point, felt quite okay with the car. I mean, RB20 had a kind of historically big limitation with the instability. And I think it was quite clear, visible that it was, as soon as I turn in, it's always happening with that kind of characteristic. So probably even I was not pushing enough, I already felt those things. And the main thing is I didn't have any reference driver to, am I driving fast enough or not to, exaggerate that kind of limitation. But I think RB20 was quite easy and having already quite big limitation enough to feel that I'm having instability quite a lot initially turning. Yep.
Thank you. Yep, Craig.
Craig Slater, Sky Sports. A question for Charles. Given how the team did last year, Charles, the hope was a challenge for both championships this year. Given the start you've made, is there a worry at Ferrari that might not be a realistic ambition?
Not yet. I think if we go back to last year, if we look the first 3 races, I think the situation in terms of performance was quite a bit worse than where we are now. We kind of expected Red Bull to dominate the whole season, and obviously by taking the points that were available at the beginning of the season with the performance that we had, we ended up the season actually fighting for the championship, which was way above our expectations starting the year. So there's definitely not this feeling within the team at the moment. However, there's definitely the feeling that we haven't maximized what we could have for these first two races, and this is frustrating. But yeah, that doesn't mean that we cannot recover. We are aware that the season is still very, very long, and as I said earlier, small steps after small steps, we can still have an amazing season.
Thank you for that. Any more from the broadcasters? Yep.
Tom Slafer, DAZN Spain. Question for Yuki. Yuki, it's easy to see that the Red Bull is a tricky car to drive. Do you know exactly what you need to do or change in your driving schedule, let's say, in your driving skills to adapt to the RB21, or is something that you need to learn in the next few races?
Well, first of all, I didn't feel yet exact trickiness what the driver is saying, and I have a bit of an idea from the simulator, but it's always a bit different from simulator to real car. So I'll see after P1 if I either have to change setup but I don't think I have to change my driving style, because in the end, so far it works well, I guess. With V-carb. Otherwise, probably I wouldn't be here wearing this logo. So I just do whatever I was doing previously, and I go step by step to build the pace and everything. But let's see. Maybe I don't have to do that. Maybe car is straight away good. And last year, I think Red Bull had a pretty good performance this year, last season, both cars. So I'm quite looking forward to it.
Sky Sports